So I filmed this intro about 100 times, and whatever I get on the next one, I'm keeping. I apologize if it's bad, but I'm being way too critical of myself. So here's your intro. Hey everyone, Bookish Reads here, and today we are doing the new to Booktube tag. So I'm not sure who started this, but I have the questions on my phone. I want this video to be very laid back, very relaxed. Just me talking to you. I don't want it to feel too formal for you, to get you to know me a little bit better, to get to know what I'm looking forward to, and just, I've got a list of questions. I'm going to read them and I'm going to start talking. So, the first one is, where am I coming from? I am from America, obviously. But I started on Bookstagram, posting pictures, and I fell in love with that community. And then I found Booktube from that. So I guess I'm coming from Bookstagram, if you want to say that. Why did you join Booktube? I joined Booktube because I love talking about books. Like, a lot. It's an obsessive amount. But I love talking about books. And I loved how supportive everybody was on Bookstagram. So when I found Booktube, I fell in love with everybody and hearing them. And I just love the community so much. So that's why I'm on Booktube. I like talking about books, is a sum up of that. But yeah, that's why I'm here. What is the meaning behind your channel name? Okay, so with this one, basically I chose Bookish Reads because I had to be on Bookstagram. My original name was, I think it was Cat Reads, because that's my online alias is Cat. So I believe it was Cat Reads. And then I started really liking all the bookish, I don't want to say slang, but like I like all the bookish words. That makes sense. So I'm trying to think of some usernames, and I don't want to just like scream anybody out, but that's what I'm about to do. There's people on there like Perfect Paperbacks. Love that name. And I wanted a really catchy name, so I was like, well, Bookish. First off, it's going to be Bookish something, because I've seen Bookish Love, I've seen Bookish Candles, Bookish Bookmarks, Bookish Books, I don't know. But then I was like, reading, duh, Bookish Reads. It looks cute together, it goes cute together. So that's been my name, and I really love my name a lot. So, what types of books do you read or want to talk about? Okay, so I read YA mostly. I have read some of Stephen King's books, and I did read Daisy Jones and the Six. So there's a tiny bit of adult mix in there, but not much. I typically read YA books. I like to talk about really any genre. I'm not really big into sci-fi, but I love contemporary and fantasy. I'm trying to look at my shelf. I also love dystopian. Oh my gosh, I love dystopian. I know a lot of people don't like dystopian because they think it's very repetitive and it's copying the Hunger Games. I do not think that at all. I love dystopian. That's what I started reading when I first got back into reading. What does the genres do it like? I really just kind of stick to contemporary and fantasy. Oh, I like retellings a lot too. If a retelling is told right, I love retellings. Okay, who are your favorite authors? Okay, we can talk about my Marissa Meyer shelf down here. I have all of her books now, except for Instant Karma, but that hasn't been released yet. But I have all of her books. She is my all-time favorite author because when I wasn't reading, I got back into reading and I started finding all these people, and then I was like, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the Lunar Chronicles in this book called Heartless. And that sounds like it's, for me, that sounds like it's the perfect book. I loved it. I fell in love with Heartless. Let me grab Heartless. Do you want to see the paperback or the hardback? I've got both. I fell in love with Heartless. I love it. Oh my gosh. Just by the synopsis. I obsessed over that book. But this was near December, so I couldn't go out and buy it myself because I have to give other people the chance to. So basically, if you want to hear a synopsis about this book, I'm going to talk about this book a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's my favorite. Okay. It's a retelling of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland before she became the Queen of Hearts. So how she became the Queen of Hearts. It's about this girl named Kath, and she loves to bake. And I'm forgetting something. She's the daughter of somebody who's important. She's the daughter of somebody who's important. I don't remember. I'm not going to take the time to find it because I'm lazy and I want to finish. But she's the daughter of some guy that's high up, and her parents want her to marry somebody and start looking for marriage. Her and the king have known each other and kind of grew up with each other their whole lives, and so her parents want her, of course, to marry the king. And the king has a new jester. There's some romance that happens, there's some action, there is heartbreak, there is sadness. Love this book. It just took me on a roller coaster. I should really reread this book. I'm thinking about it. That's probably going to be my February TBR. Except I don't really make TBRs anymore because I got mad because I couldn't keep. What is the last book that you read? Okay. So, I've been in a really bad reading slump since September. So, the last book I read, I don't have it with me. I'm letting somebody borrow it. Don't do that a lot, but I am letting somebody borrow it. I only have the second one on me. I haven't read the second one yet. I'm pretty sure the last one I read was, unless it was Wilder Girls. I think it was Wilder Girls. I don't even remember. This is sad. Oh, my dog's stretching. Sorry. I'm gonna say it was Wilder Girls. I was gonna say Caraval, but I'm pretty sure it was Wilder Girls because I remember having to read this for 2 weeks straight. Or not even 2 weeks. Why did I say 2 weeks? I had to read it in like a week. Okay, so really quickly, I am going to pause this and say that it normally takes me about a week to read a book because I usually try to do 100 pages a day. I haven't actually kept up with that. But I wanted to say, I know a week is not that long to read one book, but this is one of the busiest weeks of my life, and that's why I said it. So, do you have anything to say? Are you done? So, yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Can you let them get back to the video now? Yeah? Are you gonna lay there and be quiet? No? Because I wanted to go to the Barnes & Noble book club discussion for it. But needless to say, I loved this book. Oh my gosh, did I love this book. Now, I get people's complaints about it. This is one of those books that a lot of people don't like, but I loved it so much. And I get why. People are saying that they didn't give much of a conclusion for certain things, and there's a lot of open-ended answers to things. But I don't know. I get annoyed with some of the things and I want to know why stuff happened. But overall, I gave this book like a 4.5 stars. And I really, really loved it, and I still do. It's about, for how much I loved it, I don't know who her name is. I think her name's Hetty. Yes. I'm going to mispronounce some of these names, and I'm going to figure it out later, and whenever you watch this video, it's going to bother me. But Hetty, it's about Hetty, and so this book is about all these girls who get sick, and so they are forced to go to Raxter School for Girls and put in quarantine there because they have this disease called the tox, and the tox hits them every month, and it slowly gets worse and worse. There are these three girls. So there are these three girls, Hetty, Beat, and I am so sorry, I keep forgetting. Who else is it? There's one more person. Reese. Ha! Found it. I am sorry that I keep messing up on saying the synopsis. I I don't know. It's one of those books you just have to read. It's a retelling of The Lord of Flies, but with girls, which is crazy to me because guys think so differently from girls, and to see that in a book is really cool. I never read Lord of Flies, or I think there's a movie. I never watched the movie either, but I loved this book. I don't care what people have to say about it. Yeah, it was a little bit gory, and if you're easily sick when you read things like that, there is some graphic imagery, but I don't know. I loved it. So that's just my opinion. Okay, what are you currently reading? So, I am currently reading two books. I am reading Let It Snow by Maureen Johnson, John Green, and Lauren Miracle. Miracle. Miracle? Miracle? Miracle. Miracle. We're going to say Miracle. I hope that's right. These are 3 short stories about holiday romances that are all put together in one book because that's how short stories work. But I read the first one and I loved it. It was by Maureen Johnson, and the second one's by John Green, and I still have to read that. But my priorities now is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kenmure. So I'm supposed to read this for my book club, and I have to finish it by tomorrow, and I haven't started yet. So you know who's gonna stay up all night reading. So you know who's gonna stay up all night reading. All I know about this is that it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. That's it. I have no clue. I've heard it's amazing. I've heard it's meh. So we'll see. The farthest I've gotten is probably 10 words because I opened it and I was like, that sounds cool. I'll read this tonight. And then I never did. So those are what I'm reading. I'm enjoying them. I guess. I'm enjoying the one. I haven't started the other one. My phone keeps locking me out. Okay. What do you use for bookmarks? Okay. This is a fun question. So, for bookmark, I am not one of the people that will use anything. Yes, if I need to, I will. Like, if I get a book from a library and I want to read it, then I'll use the library card. But I'm not one of those people that just stick anything in a book. Because I like my bookmarks and I want to get my use out of my bookmarks. So, I don't know if you can see, but I have one mug down here that has a couple in it. So, there's a couple of bookmarks. Yes, I have two of the same one because I got this one that's really bent and broken as a gift a couple years ago, and the tassels fell off, and then I got the other one as a gift, like, last year, I think, and then the tassels fell off of that one. So, and then I also have a Read Past My Bedtime with a little fox. So cute. And then, so the moon ones say, shoot for the moon, even if you miss it, you will land among the stars. And I just got a cat one that I found somewhere. I think I found it on my bed or something. I honestly doubt that it's mine because I never saw this. And then I bought myself 2 Heartless inspired book bands by, I don't know, if I can find her. I bought it from a girl off Instagram. If I can find her, I'll leave her link in the description. But I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's definitely a little crown there. See if I can turn it around for you. There's a little crown. There you go. And a couple things. So that one is for, so that one's for the Queen of Hearts. And then this one. And then the next one I have, and then the next one I have is for Jest. So it's his little mask. There you go. You saw a little bit of it. It's fine. But basically, I love these, but I don't like that I can only use them on hardbacks for fear of my paperbacks being damaged. And then I have the one at the top that, so cute. Look at my little mug. I love it so much. I got it in Savannah, Georgia at, what's her name? Paula Deen's restaurant. And it's so cute. It's a little RV. I'm sorry. I love it. But I just got a pack of these, and these are all endangered animal bookmarks in like pretty artistic colors. So all of them are endangered animals, and it says what on them, like the African elephant. But they're really pretty. I bought them off Amazon not too long ago because they're really thick. So it's really thick. All right. So, which do you prefer? Hardback, paperback, ebook, physical book, borrowed, or owned? All right. I'm really, really picky about my books. So I own paperbacks, and I like paperbacks, but I feel like, as you can tell, I'm very much a hardback person because paperbacks, I know why people like them. I get that they're easy to like hold and flip through, and they're nice and they're smaller. I've got that. But like, hardbacks are so much easier to take care of, and I have cried before because my book was damaged. I had gotten I had the book in my bag, and I was going somewhere. I think I was traveling or something. And I had brought my oil pastels with me for something. I don't remember why, because I normally don't take them with me. But they're in a cardboard box, and the lid slipped off, and all of them went down to the bottom of my bag, and they got covered. The bottom of my book was covered with little dots. It's actually my cinder one. I might pull it out and show you. Okay. It's really hard to see. All right, so it's really hard to see on the camera, and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you can definitely tell there has been some use on that. Also, ignore my nails. They're really short and not great. So yeah, I love hardcovers. I get annoyed when I'll drop it and the edges will bend. But other than that, I'm a very much a hardcover person. Also, not gonna lie, when there are books that have a cover on the actual book, I want to be able to slide that up and see that because that's gorgeous. But on to the next question. I have a couple ebooks. I don't take my fire anywhere that much, so I don't really have an opportunity to sit down and read an ebook because when I'm on the go, I just prefer to read something and I forget that I have ebooks. So I have ebooks. I don't mind reading ebooks, I just forget they're there. I love audiobooks. I love being able to do something while listening to my audiobook, but they are really expensive, so I don't own much of them. Okay, what book got you into reading? Okay, so here's my little reading story. So what happened was when I was a child learning how to read, my family thought I was dyslexic because I hated it. I hated being corrected when I did a word wrong or skipped a word. I hated people telling me that. So I'd fight them on reading, and so they all thought I was dyslexic, like I couldn't read, and that's why I was fighting them. I wasn't it. I was being stubborn. So what happened was then in elementary school, probably about fourth or fifth grade, I think it was fifth grade, we had a competition on who could read the most, and then you get some award. So I won it. I read like 1,000 pages, which isn't a lot looking back, but for fifth grade me, I was pretty proud of myself, especially because I read a 500-page book. That was my first 500-page book. And so I started reading a lot. And then after that, I kind of had like a burnout. So I didn't read it for a while. And then in middle school, I really wanted to read some more, but I didn't know where to get started. So my friend recommended me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I was about to say my name. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I just read this book. It's so amazing. It's so good." Da 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 da. And that was Everything, which is right there on my shelf. So I read it in a day. I read it in a sitting. I loved that book. I still do. I really want to go back and reread it and see if I love it as much as I did. And then a couple months go by, and I was like, that's a really good book. So she comes back to me and she says, "I found another really good book. It's so good. It made me cry. It was amazing." So I read that book, and I fell in love with that book, and that book was The Monster Calls. So I still have both of them on my shelf, and they mean a lot to me because of that. So I would say my freshman year of high school, I feel like. I started reading. I found BookTube because I remember being sick and I was lying in my bed, sick, and I had this book. It was a children's book, and I think it was Pi. And I was online looking for an audiobook because I really wanted to finish it, because I wanted to read a book, but I didn't really have any books on my shelves. So that was the only one I had. I had Pie and Honey, and I got rid of them both because I don't like them that much. But then I found, I believe it was one of Haley's videos, or it was either Haley or Hannah's video, and it was Top YA Reads, and I was like, what's YA? So I click on it, and I'm like, these sound really good. So then I started searching YA, not knowing what it meant, and somebody was like, oh, Top Young Adult Reads, and I'm like, that's what that means. That means it's for me. That's amazing. So I went on Amazon and added a whole ton of them to my list. I bought a couple, but not really. I went to my like media center library at my high school and checked out a couple. So yeah, I that's kind of when I fell in love. I feel like the book that really started me was probably Alexandra Bracken's series in The Darkest Minds, because I remember reading that and I got so invested, and I read all three of them in 3 weeks, I want to say. But I loved it. I got so invested with the characters. I fell in love with them. I loved the book so much, and I was like, wow, how could a book make me feel this good? How could it give me all of these emotions? I loved this. So then I went on, and I'm here now with my life. So that's my little reading journey. Sorry I got off topic a little bit, but I hope you're entertained by my reading journey. All right. That's how I discovered BookTube, too. I kind of included that question with that one. What challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? Okay, I have no idea how to edit. I've got no clue. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to use. There's probably going to be a huge watermark over this video, and it's going to drive me insane because the software I used when I did edit my video, huge watermark, and it drove me insane. So I'm trying another one, and hopefully it's not there. But yeah, that's going to be a huge challenge for me to actually learn and get good at it and not get as frustrated because I keep getting really frustrated. So we'll see if I overcome that. So I sort of overcame it. I am editing this whole video by myself. Are you going to sneeze or are you going to be quiet? Sorry, dog's right there. And I'm currently editing it. And it is a challenge, but I got my program to actually work and not lag as much. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it. But yeah, so I'm working on overcoming it. This one is not helping me edit, so enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, and then where else can you find me? Alright, so where else can you find me? All of my links are in the description. I don't have many, but I just started a Twitter, I have my Bookstagram, and I have my Goodreads. So there's 3 things that you can find me on if you want. My Goodreads, I will tell you that I don't keep it updated as much as I should, just because I don't like just seeing books that I've put down sitting there, and I don't know, I don't feel the need to just update it. That's why I have my reading journal that you've seen in other videos, so I can keep track of it that way. But I will put what books I want to read on it, and you can see the books that I've read and stuff on it if you're still interested in that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I answered all of the questions to the best of my ability. I hope I didn't drag it on and get off topic too much. I know I did a little bit, but hopefully this helps let you guys know who I am and what my channel is and just know me better. And I hope you guys stick around. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!